and feel free to catch these guys afterwards. So with that, we'll move on to the second half of our equipment-focused portion of the EV workshop this morning, and that is a panel discussion about electric vehicle chargers and charging infrastructure. And for that panel, we have a number of distinguished guests, including Frank Wong from Aerovironment, Brian Goldstein from Better Place, and Scott Safian from Coulomb Technologies. If I could ask Scott and Brian and Frank to come up to the panel. And we'll start off with a presentation by Frank Wong from Aerovironment.
Hi, thank you for having us here. Happy to be here to talk about electric vehicles. As you kind of gathered from a lot of the earlier speakers, electric vehicles is not new. It's been around for a number of years. We've been involved with electric vehicles for a number of years, starting back with the EV1, which we helped develop with GM. We also have a lot of the peripheral equipment around electric vehicles, including the battery testing equipment, and have done a lot with industrial chargers for electric vehicles. And as a matter of fact, we've been in Hawaii for a number of years as well, going back, as Tom probably knows, to some of the early infrastructure programs that Hawaii's been involved with. I think Hawaii's been a leader in electric vehicles since the very beginning, and it still is. As you know, when we've after the original hiccup with electric vehicles, we actually ended up repurposing a lot of the technology we developed for electric vehicles into the industrial space. And now we've kind of come back full circle and are going back to the on-road vehicles, which we're really happy to do. In addition to the charging equipment, as you know, there's a lot of other applications that are going to, or problems that are going to be solved around electric vehicles, including, roadside assistance, testing and servicing of the batteries at dealer stations, at home charging, on-road charging, fast charging. So we've been involved in all aspects of that. Part of what we call the EV ecosystem, the home charging, the public charging, the at-workplace charging, intracity charging, as well as intercity. I think you've already kind of got a quick summary of the difference between level 1 and level 2. That's what we call it here in the U.S., kind of the 120 plug versus the 240 plug. In Europe, they call it different. They have mode 1, mode 2, mode 3. So it's a little bit different there. Additionally, you have the fast charging. You go from level 1, which is about 1.2 to 1.4 kilowatts, level 2, which is about 3.3 to 6.6 kilowatt charging rate, and then the fast charging, which can go as high as you want practically. We have some that go up to 500 kilowatts. But for the CHAdeMO standard, which is, I think, fast becoming a de facto standard for on-road vehicles, which is a 50 kilowatt charging rate. So here, just kind of images, we have different models of charging equipment for different applications. The first one is kind of the at-home. The second one here is actually the standard in Europe is more from a standpoint where they do not have the cord attached to the charging equipment or the charging station, and you actually carry the cord set with you in the car. Then you have the kind of our multi-port units, and then kind of the commercial units that we have for public where the cord is hidden away when you're not using it. And then you have fast chargers. Additionally, we have these applications which, using cord sets, kind of the roadside assistance units that go on the vehicle, goes on a service vehicle, as well as fast chargers. Just kind of give you an idea of the different breadth of products that our company offers that kind of evolve around the electric vehicle market. And then, of course, you have the networking aspects and the what we call the ERP systems, the whole back office. One of the most difficult things that we actually had to do to develop the solution for electric vehicles was not the charging equipment itself, which we've been doing for a number of years, but to make the process smooth and easy for consumers, where you're not dealing with a large corporation and it's kind of one-on-one, but you're dealing with tens of thousands of consumers, and you're trying to make the system seamless. So we developed the whole back office and customer relation management system to streamline that process. We've also developed a lot of the software, which we've adapted again from the software networking infrastructure we had on the industrial side for doing communications. And then another little tool that we developed was what we call our service tool, which is kind of like a vehicle simulator, so that when you actually install these units at homes or public stations, we realize that you're going to be installing these without having any vehicles around to actually test them. So we developed these units to actually act as an electric vehicle simulator that will go through the full charging cycle of an electric vehicle. Just to kind of summarize, we have the products. We also have kind of the turnkey solution that we're trying to supply to the consumer so that the whole process is easy for them, recognizing that if you give them a charger and give it to them and have them figure out how to install it, how to get it permitted, it creates another barrier to buying that vehicle, which we try to eliminate. And finally, I just mentioned that these vehicles are rolling out. We're actually going to start our assessments for installing these units here in Hawaii beginning next week. So it's they're here and we're ready. That's it.
Good, Frank. We're looking forward to that next generation of chargers being installed around the state.